So hello students, welcome to this revision session on 12th economics. Today we are going to revise chapter number 4, that is supply analysis, and we are also going to complete the exercise part which is given in the textbook. So let us go to the screen of the textbook and revise the concepts one by one. So please refer page number 37 of your 12th eco textbook. ज्याच्यामध्ये आपण डिस्कस करतोय सप्लाय अनालिसिस. So supply is a fundamental economic concept which describes the total amount of specific good or service which is available to a seller. So it is the total amount of goods or service which is made available for sale at any specific time and at any specific price. Now what is total output? So total output is the sum total of the quantity of a commodity produced at a given period of time in the economy. So production leads to consumption, and in the process of production inputs are converted into output. So total output ची definition हे आपण बघितले. Second important concept is stock. So stock is the total quantity of a commodity available for sale with a seller at a particular point of time. So stock is a potential supply. So supply हा नेहमी stock मधून derive होतो. In case of perishable goods, stock and supply they equal to each other. Next is supply. So supply is a relative term, so it is always expressed in terms of price, time, and quantity. Now the meaning of supply. So the word supply implies the various quantities of commodities offered for sale by producers during given period of time at a given price. So it is related with time and price. So supply is a flow concept. So supply म्हणजे काय हे पण आपल्या लेक्चर मध्ये एकदम डिटेल मध्ये तुम्हाला व्हाईट बोर्ड वरती मी एक्सप्लेन केलेलं आहे की टोटल आउटपुट, सप्लाय, स्टॉक आणि ऍक्च्युअल सेल या चार एक्झॅक्टली कन्सेप्ट काय जो हा पार्ट आपण डिस्कस केला. We'll go to a definition of supply. So as per Paul Samuelson, supply refers to the relation between the market prices, the amount of goods that the producers are willing to supply. So supply refers to the quantity of a commodity which a seller is willing and able to offer for sale at a given price during a certain period of time. The next part is supply schedule. So supply schedule can be individual supply schedule and market supply schedule. So individual supply and market supply चा difference पण आपण बघितलेला आहे. So individual supply schedule refers to the tabular representation showing various quantities of a commodity that a producer is willing to sell at various prices during a given period of time. So here supply schedule is given at individual level. So when price is 10, supply is 100, and when price is 50, supply is 500. Diagram पण आपण डिस्कस केलेली आहे. So individual supply curve upward sloping आहे, जो पॉझिटिव्हली स्लोप्ड आहे आणि त्याची डायरेक्शन लोअर लेफ्ट टू अपवर्ड राईट या डायरेक्शन मध्ये तो मूव्ह होत आहे. नेक्स्ट आहे मार्केट सप्लाय. सो मार्केट सप्लाय इज द different quantities of a commodity which all the producers are prepared to sell in a particular market. So it is the quantity which is made available for sale by all the suppliers in an economy. जसं की या शेड्यूल मध्ये दिलंय ABC असे तीन सेलर्स आहेत. सो 600, 900, 1400, 1500, 1800 असा सप्लाय आहे मार्केट सप्लाय ऍट डिफरंट प्राइसेस. मार्केट सप्लाय चा जो कर्व आहे तोही सेमच येणार आहे. द ओनली डिफरन्स कुठे असेल तर तो इथं असेल एक्स ऍक्सिस वरती, जिथं स्केल हे डिफरंट असणार आहे. बाकी सर्व डायग्राम किंवा सप्लाय कर्व हा सेमच असणार आहे, त्याच्या कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स त्या सेमच आहेत, just like individual supply curve. नेक्स्ट पार्ट आहे की डिटर्मिनंट्स ऑफ सप्लाय. हा पार्ट एक्सक्लूड झालाय आपल्या सिलेबस मध्ये फॉर द टाइम बिंग, पण असं असलं तरी तो मी ब्रीफली डिस्कस केलाय की एकतर प्राइस आहे, स्टेट ऑफ टेक्नॉलॉजी आहे, सीओपी म्हणजे कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन आहे, इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर आहे, गव्हर्नमेंट पॉलिसी आहे, नॅचरल कंडिशन्स आहेत, तसंच फ्युचर एक्सपेक्टेशन्स अबाउट द प्राइस आहेत आणि अदर फॅक्टर्स आहेत. सो हे सर्व फॅक्टर्स जे आहेत ते सप्लायला डिटरमाइन करतात. त्यानंतर आपण बघितलं लॉ ऑफ सप्लाय. सो याच्यामध्ये आपण डिस्कस केलं इंट्रोडक्टिव्ह पार्ट दॅट द लॉ ऑफ सप्लाय वॉज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड बाय प्रोफेसर अल्फ्रेड मार्शल in his book Principles of Economics, which was published in 1890. Now the statement of the law says that other things being equal, higher the price, more the quantity supplied, lower the price, lower the quantity supplied. So higher the price, higher the supply, lower the price, lower the supply. Here it is mentioned that supply is a function of price. So S is equal to F of P. याच्यामध्ये काही assumptions आहेत की cost of production should remain constant, technique of production should remain constant, weather conditions should remain constant, government policies should remain constant. Transportation cost should remain constant, or it is assumed that there is no transportation cost. Prices of other goods remain constant and future expectations about the price also remain constant. It means that all the factors affecting supply except price remain constant. So supply schedule is given when price is 10, quantity is 100, when price is 30, quantity 300, price is 50, quantity supplied is 500. It shows the direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. And because of this direct relationship, supply curve slopes positive and upward. So this is the supply curve which moves from lower left to upward right, and it is positively sloped. Okay. Now the exceptions to the law of supply. In certain cases, law of supply does not hold true. For example, in case of labor supply is an exception to the law of supply. In case of labor supply, we observe the backward bending supply curve. So this part is discussed here. The second exception is the agricultural goods. Agricultural goods, their production depends on the weather conditions. So their quantity cannot be increased in the short term, even if the high prices are charged. So that's why agricultural goods is an exception. If there is an urgent need for cash, then the law of supply does not hold true. In case of perishable goods and rare goods, law of supply is not applicable. Now the next part is related to variations in supply. So when price rises, supply expands, and when the price falls, the supply contracts. So supply rises when the price rises. So upward movement on the same supply curve is called as expansion, and downward movement is called as contraction. So expansion and contraction. It occurs due to changes in price. Now when price remains constant, but other factors, they change adversely or favorably, then decrease and increase in supply might occur. So increase in supply occurs when price remains constant and factors affecting the supply other than price, they change in a favorable manner. Similarly, when price remains constant but there are unfavorable or adverse changes in the factors other than price, then the supply curve shifts towards the left. So it is called the decrease in supply. So this is the original supply curve. This is increase and this is decrease. So rightward shift is increase and leftward shift is decrease. So this is expansion, contraction, and increase, decrease of supply. Then we will quickly go to the cost concepts. So we have seen what is total cost. So total cost is the total expenditure which is incurred by a firm on different factors of production. So TC is equal to TFC plus TVC. Second, average cost refers to the cost of production per unit. So it is AC is equal to TC by TQ. Third is marginal cost. So it is TCN minus TCN minus 1. So it is the total cost which is incurred by producing. It is the additional cost which is incurred by producing additional. Next is the revenue concept. So revenue means sales or the receipts for the firm. So total revenue is price into quantity. Average revenue is TR upon TQ. And marginal revenue is additional revenue. So it is TRN minus TRN minus 1. So here we have done with the revision part related to chapter number 5. Now we will go to the exercise part quickly. So complete the following statements. This is the first question. When supply curve is upward sloping, its slope is positive. Upward movement on the same supply curve is expansion. Rightward shift in the supply curve is increase in supply. Other factors remaining constant when less quantity is supplied, it is called contraction. Net addition made to the total revenue by selling an extra unit of a commodity, it is marginal revenue. Question number 2, complete the correlation. Expansion of supply, price rises, contraction of supply, price falls. Total revenue P into Q, average revenue TR upon TQ. Total cost is TFC plus TVC, average cost is TC by TQ. Demand curve downward, supply curve upward. Price constant, change in supply, other factors constant, variation in supply. Next is give economic terms. Cost incurred on fixed factor, it is fixed cost. Cost incurred per unit of output, it is average cost. Net addition made to the total cost of production, it is marginal cost. Revenue per unit of output sold, it is average revenue. Next is stock and supply. So you can write the meaning, nature, interrelation, and example. Expansion of supply, increase in supply, you can write the meaning, diagram, example. Same goes for contraction and decrease, meaning, definition, meaning, diagram, and example. Average revenue, average cost, you can write meaning, formula, example. We will go to the question number 5. We have to draw the supply schedule on the basis of table. First, we have to complete the table. So when price is 10, quantity 200, price 15, quantity 250, price 20, quantity 300, price 25, quantity 350, price 30, quantity 400, price 35, quantity 450, price 40, quantity is 500. So on the basis of this, you can draw the supply curve like this, and you can say that relationship between price and quantity supplied is direct. Now we will solve question number 5b, where we have to identify the numbers related to market supply. So if total market supply is 100, contribution of A will be 35. 37, 30, 45, contribution will be 112. 40-55, contribution of B will be 60. 44, 50-, market supply is 154. So contribution of C will be 60. So we have completed the table, and on the basis of this, you can draw the market supply curve like this. Next part is explain the concept of total cost and total revenue. This part you can complete with the help of textbook and notes. Determinants of supply, this part is excluded. Law of supply with exceptions. We have to write introduction, meaning, introduction, then statement, assumptions, schedule, diagram, explanation, and exceptions. So all these points are to be written in the elaborative manner. So here we come to the conclusion of chapter number 5, revision and exercise. So for the time being, we will stop here and we will meet in our next session. Till then, take care, keep studying. Thank you so much. All the best.